start the recording now. And yes, a very, very warm welcome to your introduction to marketing. I really, really hope that you are going to enjoy this module. It is a very, very different module. And as we go, we'll get into it. I'm just hoping that you find it very exciting. I also hope that you're beginning at Varsity College and all your registration's gone well. It's always a bit of a challenge to register and get online, so well done for being online. I'm not sure if this is your first lecture or you've had some before, but it's just very nice to be here. So what I want to do tonight is to kind of just set the scene for you guys, to tell you what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, how your course is structured, talk a little bit about your POE, which we haven't got yet. So we will get it in the course of the week, and also for you guys to ask me some questions. I don't know if you can see the little hand thing at the bottom of your screen here. You're more than welcome to use that, unmute, or type in the chat box. So that's really what I want to do. We're not going to cover any content tonight. We are just going to go through how we're going to eat the elephant. I don't know, have you guys got your textbook yet? Please send me a thumbs up if you've got your textbook. But if you have got your textbook, then you know that this is quite a big module. So we are going to, oh, well done, guys. I'm delighted to see that. How do we eat the elephant? We eat it in bite-sized chunks. So don't ever worry about anything. We will work it all the way through together. So my name is Catherine Young. That's what I look like. And I have the pleasure of taking you for this module. I have been a marketing person for my whole life. I come from a corporate banking background, and I love lecturing marketing. I also lecture on the BCom Honours programs, and I do some of the more complicated subjects like global business and trade and contemporary innovation, etc. But marketing really is my passion. I've worked in it, and I do believe that money and marketing make the world go round. So that's a little bit of an introduction from me. This is your textbook, and you guys have already got your textbook, so I'm absolutely delighted. So you have, it's a South African book, which is lovely. It is very well written. It's easy to read. And we are going to kind of navigate through that textbook. We don't do all the chapters, which you will be very happy to hear. We pick very specific chapters along the way, and we put them into what we call a marketing strategy that we will get to just now. But you will see on Learn as well, we use Learn extensively. Not only is your textbook a good source, but so are the other readings. There's all sorts of additional readings and links, and we're going to use some of the information in Learn for this module. So the other important element, and please send me a thumbs up if you have downloaded it already, is that we have what is called a module outline or a module overview, and that's a very, very good document. It's giving you all the details. Oh, that's great, Kalisha. So yes, it's giving you the breakdown of the module, which chapters we look at, what we are going to get out of every chapter, and I have also put it under more resources and Learn for you. I put it under academic resources. So those are very important sources of information that you need: the textbook and the module overview, and we will use all sorts of other sources on Learn as well. Just a little bit about the overall purpose of this course. And the introduction to marketing is not to make you guys marketers. It is to develop the platform upon which you understand the key and the basic concepts of marketing, but also, more importantly, and we'll see as we go, it is about applying those concepts that we learn. So whilst we have to look at theory, the entire focus of this course is very practical. And this is probably what is fundamentally different to your other modules that you're going to do this semester. And as I say, I'm really hoping that you are going to enjoy it, because it is so different. So whilst we do look at theory, we are applying that theory to a case study that you have been given in your POE. So the purpose is to introduce you to both the theoretical aspects of marketing and then to get you to apply it to a particular setting. And we've chosen a very interesting case study for you guys. I hope you find it interesting too. So not only to understand the concepts, but to apply them and to be able to solve what we call a range of marketing problems along the way. So that's essentially the course purpose, not to turn you into highfalutin, technically orientated marketers. This slide that I'm showing you now is your course. This is looking at your learning units and which chapters fall into your learning units. So that is giving you the structure, but this is also very much what your module outline is telling you. And what we do, we go through our learning units from learning unit 1 to 7, and then we apply those principles. So the first chapters, when we meet again in 2 weeks' time, we're going to go through some of the elements of what marketing is. Well, we're going to talk about it in between as well, and look at the environments that companies operate in. So if we take a Mr. Price, or we take a Nike, or we take a Toyota, those companies, what are the types of environments that they operate in? We then move on to Learning Unit 2, and here we start talking about how you and I, because we are all customers, how we make decisions. So if I walk into Checkers, how do I make the decisions to purchase a particular brand of coffee or washing powder, etc., etc. So we start learning that. From Learning Unit 3, we start looking at how companies or marketers in companies start designing and segmenting groups of people with similar wants and needs. And I'm not going to go into too much detail there. And once companies have their what we call target markets, companies then put together what they call a marketing strategy. Have any of you guys ever heard of the 4 Ps of marketing before? Because it's bandied around a lot. You might actually work in marketing. You might have done a little bit of studying in the past. But the 4 Ps of marketing are essentially the marketing strategies upon which companies deliver their product to their chosen set of customers. So, and that is through product decisions, pricing decisions, distribution decisions, and what we call communication decisions. So this is just giving you a very rough but clear kind of roadmap of the module content that we have to cover. Are there any questions so far? Okay, we're all good. Let's carry on. So, how, in terms of assessments, There's our textbook. We've talked about the readings. So what does this module hold in terms of assessments? We complete what is called a portfolio of evidence. Do you guys know what a portfolio of evidence is? So you don't write an exam and you don't do assignments. You have what we call a portfolio of evidence, and it's broken down into part 1 and part 2, and then the final portfolio. So a portfolio of evidence is showing your understanding of a particular subject or module or any form of content that you're given. And your portfolio of evidence is presented this semester in the form of a company that we have given you. So if you have had a look at any of the academic material that I've put on Learn For You yet, you will see when these different assessments are due. So part 1 of your POE is due on the 15th of April. Part 2 is due on the 13th of May. And your final portfolio of evidence is due on the 4th of June. So they are very nicely spread, and we have ample time to ensure that we understand, we cover the content, etc. Between. I don't know if you, as I say, if you've had any online lectures yet, or you are familiar with what we call an ICE task. But an ICE task are these little, I suppose, working elements that we give you throughout the semester to make sure that you're engaging with the material. So ICE stands for Integrated Curriculum Engagement, and it could be in the form of a test. Your first ICE task is going to be to develop an advert, but they come in all sorts of different shapes and forms, and we are still in the process of developing those. So just like the assessments 1 and 2 in the final POE, you will be given ICE task due dates as well. But we are still setting those. We're still waiting for your POE to be released, and we will be in communication all the time about those. But ICE tasks shouldn't take you too long. It's just to ensure that we can see along the way that you are understanding the material, you are keeping up to date with the work that needs to be done, and that constitutes 10% of your final mark. So that's quite important too. So if we look at the different assessments, part 1 of your POE constitutes 30% of your final mark. Part 2 constitutes 25% of your final mark. And then your final POE constitutes 35% of your final mark. And that comes up to 90%, plus your 10% of your ICE tasks is 100. And students have asked me in the past, are ICE tasks essential? I have seen through years and years and years of experience that ICE tasks can be the maker or the breaker. So you could be on the cusp, you might not have got the marks that you wanted in a particular assessment, but ICE tasks can really help with that 10%. So I not only urge you to do them from a mark perspective, I urge you to do them from a keeping current with your workload perspective. When you have a portfolio of evidence as an assessment, you cannot leave anything till the end. You can't wait for the week before, etc. This is continuous learning. And part 1, when you get your marks back from part 1, the feedback that you get given then feeds into part 2, and then that feeds into part 3, or rather the final POE. So it's really important that you, sorry, I don't know what happened to the slide there, which load shedding is a bit tricky in my area right now. It's very important that you know how it's structured and how part 1 and part 2 feed into each other, and then your final POE as well. So how do we do it? How do we go forward? How do we run the sessions? Well, exactly like we're doing tonight. We will meet every second week based on the schedule that you have been given. On Learn, it's in the calendar. You have been given a whole weekly programs for your other modules. And what we've done differently this time and this year is we've tried to make sure that there are no clashes with your other modules. So if you're a first year student, we are trying to run all the first year modules on different dates and times, so that say Claire can't come to me and say, Catherine, I can't come to my marketing lecture because I've got accounting, and accounting is much harder. So we have tried to do that to assist you in terms of a program. So all our online lectures are recorded. As I'm doing tonight, you'll see the little recording element in the top left-hand corner. And what happens after each session is I will then place the recording on Learn as well. And you can go back and view the recording anytime. And those who are not able to make the lecture, they can then go in and listen to the recording. I urge you, however, to attend as many lectures as possible. Why? So that you don't miss anything. You can ask questions. It's really important to ask questions if you need to, and to be constantly engaging with the material and with myself and with your colleagues. It's amazing how colleagues and peers can assist you, and it's amazing what you can learn from other people. So I really urge you to attend your online lectures. As we are doing now, all of you guys, I'm speaking, so my mic is switched off. When you need to speak, you obviously switch your mic on and switch it off again when you're not. The online sessions, online lectures, are very much to really touch upon the theory, because in between each lecture, I am going to be sending you videos to engage you in the theory. And they're such lovely videos, and they're so easy, and they're really nice. So our online sessions are to kind of flesh out any problem areas that there are with some of the material that you find in your module, some of the theory, and then to apply this to our POE that we are going to get, I think, on Wednesday. So a little bit, we're going to touch on theory, and then we're going to use it to apply to our POE. So a little bit of a balance. And if we look what we kind of came up with in terms of how you are awarded marks for this POE, pretty much only 20 to 30% of your marks come from the theory, from the textbook, and about 70%, 70 to 80% of your marks come from the application of that theory. So these online lectures are very important for you guys to be able to ensure that you can apply the theory. Sometimes the theory is very easy, and sometimes it takes a little bit of discussion to be able to understand how to apply it. So I urge you to come to as many lectures as you can. So sorry, it's happening again. It's because I'm in the middle of load shedding. The other element that I urge you to do is what we call self-directed learning. Is to make sure that when we are covering a particular learning unit, you are engaging with the material, so that before we come together So next time we are online together, we are going to go through Learning Unit 1. That's 2 chapters that you have been through that information and you've got any questions ready and lined up for me. So self-directed learning in between sessions is really, really important. Also part of our online sessions when you've got an assessment coming. So when your part 1 assessment is coming near, part of our session is dedicated to that assessment preparation. And those are even more important to be part of, because then that gives you an opportunity to talk up and ask any questions regarding your assessments. As I said, the videos and the material will be shared between our online sessions. So I will be in touch with you guys at least once a week. And if I've got any more to share with you, I will be sharing it consistently. All our communication, all our academic communication is done via Learn. It is our platform. We have to have it in one place for audit purposes. All academics and all module engagements get audited, and it all has to be in one place. So all our communication will be via Learn. Also, obviously, via email. You will get notifications from Learn in email as well. So that is kind of the way that we are going to do it. What we have done in the past as well is to set up a student WhatsApp group. And this is for you guys to have urgent, quick communication between yourselves. This is not to be a formal communication channel between yourself and Varsity College, or yourself and myself. So what we are doing this semester is we are looking for a volunteer who is willing to set up a WhatsApp group. I will share the link for anybody who wants to join, and for that person to be kind of a liaison with me via email on the group. So if any of you guys online this evening feel so inclined, please let me know. WhatsApp groups can be very positive for you guys. As I say, it's just for peer engagement. It is not a formal communication channel between yourselves and Varsity College, or yourselves and myself. So just let me know. Everything that you need to know will come from me via Learn. And so your access to Learn is actually really, really important. You will see on your calendar that's on Learn, and also in your weekly program that's been developed at a higher level, what our dates are for when we come together. And you will see there we always meet at 6 o'clock. We go for never longer than an hour. I try and make it a bit quicker. It's very, very difficult for you guys to engage for so long. And that's why I send you lots of videos in between our sessions to keep you a little bit more stimulated, because hour-long sessions online can be quite taxing, I must say. But there's our schedule that we have, but you can go in and look at it in 2 places, the calendar or in your weekly program at any time. We are very unlikely to deviate from that schedule, but in the event of crises, of course, we will. So what I can't, as I say, I don't have the POE this evening, nor do you, nor does anybody. It's still being vetted and checked, and we had a meeting today and we went through some of the issues. But your POE is on a company called Bike. Has anybody ever heard of that company? Because I must say, it was not a very familiar company for me. Anybody heard of that company? Any of the guys? I'm looking at Connor and Liam and anybody ever heard of it? Yes. Okay. Well, that's actually a good thing. It is a Chinese car manufacturer. Yes, well done, Connor. I thought you might know. Men tend to know more about cars than we do. So Bike is a company that has come into South Africa. It's not doing so well, by the way, and we are going to use it as our case study for our POE. So hopefully it's going to be very exciting for you guys. Just there's a little bit of information on it. It's a Chinese state-owned manufacturer. The headquarters are in Beijing. There's been founded here and there, whatever. And it entered the South African market in the last kind of 36 months. It's mainly SUVs, that type of product. Just so there's another little bit of a splurb for you. It has the potential to be like some of our other foreign brands in South Africa. So we're talking about Hyundai and Nissan and Renault, and but there seems to be a problem in the South African market that we're not aware of it. And there we go. We've just proved it online. So between Claire and Kalisha and myself, I did know about it, but only prior to us engaging with the material for the POE. But this is something they need to be able to sell their product in the South African market. How? So we are going to solve their problem for them. We are going to find a way. We are going to put together a marketing strategy to sell bike, SUVs, and other passenger vehicles. So there has been in the South African market in the past a little bit of suspicion with some of the East car manufacturing companies, not obviously the Japanese, but certainly the Indian and the Chinese cars. So this is our case study that we are having a look at. And the question that we need to solve as a group and as you guys in your portfolio of evidence, we need to get to the point of how do you sell, or rather market, a product to South Africa that doesn't seem to want it. Now, goodness. Now, there's a challenge. How do we solve this problem? And we are going to, you will see your POE, we are going to firstly do a little bit of market research into the market. You're going to do a survey with people that you know and ask them about this particular company, and then write a report. And then you are going to put together a whole marketing strategy for bike. What types of products, what their prices of the products should be, where they should sell their products to, and how are we going to communicate with the target market. So it's actually really exciting. I think it's a really nice case study, and also because we're going to learn something about a new company. Are there any questions about the company itself or the POE so far? Okay, we're all good. Okay, yes. I mean, it really is exciting. And that's why I'm really hoping that we're going to have fun in this. And yes, we didn't get like a boring company, because this is something that will be very, very interesting going forward. So, okay, let's just talk a little bit about plagiarism. Now, you guys who have, I'm hoping you've attended all the orientations, the academic and everything else, but at Varsity College, if you are a first-year student, you will know that we take plagiarism very seriously. And we all know what plagiarism is. It is about kind of taking somebody's words or ideas and pretending that they're ours. And certainly, I've worked for Varsity College now for about 18 years now. and it gets stricter and stricter and stricter, which is a very good thing. And obviously we've got AI now, which is making it even more difficult to manage plagiarism. But in our modules, such as this particular module and all your other modules, we do not have the time to go through how to reference with you guys. You have to learn those skills through your IIE referencing guide. I put it on Learn for You. If you've seen it there, use it as your academic Bible, because when you are engaging and you are writing theory and pulling sources of information, they have to be referenced. They have to be referenced in text, so as you are writing, and they have to be referenced in a reference list at the end. And we have a writing center and online librarians that can assist you with that, and they are amazing. They are wonderful, wonderful people who can assist you at any time. Please use those resources, because we do take it very, very seriously, and you cannot lose any marks for plagiarism. What happens, you will see in when you go through the plagiarism policies, etc., that you have a couple of chances, and it may actually impact you failing a module. So please don't do it. Please invest time there. This slide that I'm showing you on the screen now is my interpretation of your course as a whole. It's your course on a plate or your course on a slide. And I just want to go through it with you very, very quickly. But in our first learning units, we firstly have a look at what marketing is, because a lot of us, do any of you guys actually work in marketing or in sales? Please let me know, because it's really good to know, and it's good to also discuss elements. That's excellent, Connor. Who do you work for, and what kind of marketing role do you play? Can type or talk. While you're typing, then are you going to type? Let me carry on. So, okay, that buys and sells particular products. Okay, Claire, that's excellent. Okay, so you're on the purchasing side. Fabulous. That's good news. Okay, I want you, where you guys can, in your respective roles, to chip in what you think, because here you're starting to learn theoretical aspects of marketing. Tell us about some of your experiences along the way as well. So our first learning unit, which let me just point here, there we're looking at what marketing is and how it functions, and the marketing environments that companies are working in. So in your guys' case, we are looking at the South African market for bike. And I think that's how you say it, bike, as in B-I-K-E. And we need to understand the environments in which, sorry, Con, I'm just reading, Ulungile Consulting in the sales on mails and the construction of malls. Oh, okay, that's excellent. No problem. I know typing takes a while. Okay, well, that's excellent news. Good. Tell us if something is relevant or pertinent, or even if you disagree, tell us, because the more we engage, the better it is for you guys. So just going back to our slide again, we look at what marketing is. It's not just selling, it's not just advertising, and you're going to find that out personally, because you're actually going to do a whole lot of work in marketing that you don't think was marketing. We're going to look at the environments in which companies operate. And then here, this last part of this slide is the marketing strategy that we are going to put together for bike in South Africa? You work in finance? Okay. And our clients, game, macro, and builders? Okay. Fabulous, Kalisha. Okay, we've got some great and varied industries that you guys work in. So, yes, if you feel that you can add value or questions or comments, please chip in at any time. Okay. So the marketing strategy and the marketing mix is what we call the 4 P's of marketing, is the strategy that you guys are going to develop for the company that you've been given back. The last kind of part at the bottom of the screen here is my own definition of marketing, and we'll talk about it when we meet next week. Sorry, not next week, the week after, what your definitions are. And as we progress, I think that will change. But if I had to, if I had to say to somebody who had never heard about marketing, I would say that marketing is so much more than advertising and selling. It identifies who your customer is. So who are the people that are going to potentially purchase the bike SUVs, to then understand what those people are like, what they want, what their personal needs are, what they value in a car, and then to go on and design strategies that meet these needs better than their competitors. Sorry. So that's Hyundai and Tata and Land Rover and all the other SUV competitors. And this is also within very different environments, so within South Africa, and in order to deliver value to the company, to bike, and to the customer. If we as people do not see value in a product, we are not going to buy it. So that's essentially our course on a slide. How does marketing function? What environments it functions in? How do companies choose their target markets? And what are the strategies that they put in place to deliver value to the customer? So before we meet again in 2 weeks' time, I want you guys to think about what you think marketing does and how it functions, and also to have a better understanding when you have read your chapters 1 and 2, which is your first learning unit. This is a funny little slide that I created, and it may help you and it may not, and if it doesn't help you, dismiss it entirely. But I see marketing as the kind of baby or the product of 2 other disciplines in business. The first being economics, and that is how people choose to spend their money. So if we've got 100 Rand, what are we going to spend with that 100 Rand? And psychology. And when I've got that 100 Rand, why would I go and choose Nescafe Gold instead of Jacobs? I don't even know what Jacobs has, but a Jacobs brand versus a Nescafe brand. So marketing is kind of the baby of the 2 parents of economics and psychology, how we spend money and how who we are influences what types of products and services we purchase. That's really what I wanted to go through with you this evening. I just wanted to show you a little infographic as to what I would like you to do in between the next tonight and what we do on the 11th of Feb. So I would like you to do some research, find out as much as you can on the company bike and how they came into the South African market, when they came into the South African market, and to kind of find out, market share, how they're struggling, what are they doing, anything you can on that company. The more information you have, the better it is for you. Then we have put together this little element of videos for you. We'd like you to watch these videos in terms of customer value, what we believe customer value is, the difference between needs, wants, and demands, customer decision making, etc. And then to give you an understanding of ICE Task 1. And I'm obviously going to give you a lot more information on ICE Task 1, but just to tell you that your first ICE task is to create a little advert on any one of Bike's products that you can find. And we've created a little video here for you as well on how to create that video in Canva. I don't know if any of you guys use Canva right now. It's nice and easy. You don't have to use Canva. You can use PowerPoint. You can use Paddle, anything else, but Canva's quite nice and easy. So those are the three elements we would like you to do in between. I'm also going to send you some more videos on Learning Unit 1, which is chapters 1 and 2. But just to do some research on our case study, Bike, to understand needs and wants of customers, and then to do some background on how to create a video in Canva. And that's really it from me this evening. Are there any questions that you have? Firstly, are there any questions? And secondly, how are you feeling about the module? Are you all good? That was a lot of information to take in such a short time. But is everybody happy that you've kind of got a background as to how we're going to do it? Okay, that's perfect. Oh, well, I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited. So let's make it as interesting as we can. Connor, one concern, do we have to choose Bike? Yes, we do. It is not a choice. We have given you the case study and your entire POE is on that particular company. We have given choices in the past, but we have decided to give you one. Well, the challenge for us as students is to come up with a marketing strategy that would work for them. So if you one of the few people that know about the company, but that's not to say let's develop a marketing strategy that will work. And then you can also sell it to them and make some money. How's that? But yes, there is no choice on your company or your POE. Bike it is. Any other questions or comments or concerns? All right, everybody. Well, if not, thank you so much for your time. As I say, I really look forward to engaging with you guys coming up in the semester. I will send this through to you again tomorrow. I'll be in touch tomorrow and we go from there. As soon as the POE is released, I will tell you it's released. You can go and find it on the student intranet and we will go from there. So thank you very much for your time and enjoy the rest of your evening.